Hello viewers, I'm Kausalya. Today we are going to solve problems in our new chapter 13, surface areas and volumes. So example 1, Rashid got a playing top as his birthday present which surprisingly had no color on it. He wanted to color it with his crayons. The top is shaped like a cone surmounted by a hemisphere. The entire top is 5 centimeter in height and the diameter of the top is 3.5 centimeter. Find the area he has to color. So take pi is equal to 22 by 7. So here in this case you see, here we are having two shapes, right? One is a cone and another one is a hemisphere. So the top is shaped like a cone surmounted by a hemisphere, right? So here we are having a cone surmounted by a hemisphere here. So the height is 5 centimeter and the diameter of the top is 3.5 centimeter, right? So area he has to color. So obviously we have to color the cone as well as the hemispherical area, right? So total surface area of the top is given by curved surface area of hemisphere plus curved surface area of the cone, right? So you see this line I had drawn to explain, right? So our basic diagram is it will be okay just like this. So here what is the formula for the curved surface area of hemisphere? It is 2 pi r square and the cone is pi r l. So here as a first thing just consider this hemisphere, right? So this is your diameter of this hemisphere. Yes or no? So this is your diameter. What about the radius? You have to divide it by 2. So here it is 3.5. So here you have to divide it by 2. So it will be 3.5 by 2. So curved surface area of hemisphere is, the formula is 2 pi r square. So we know the value of r and the value of pi. It is clearly mentioned in the problem. Take it as 22 by 7 here, right? So just take it as such. And here when you substitute the values, you see here we are having 2 into 22 by 7 into 3.5 by 2 into 3.5 by 2, right? So just now we have calculated this part. Now we have to find this one. So regarding this cone, what do you mean by L here? L is nothing but slant height, right? So I'll explain you what it is. So to know L, it is mandatory to know height H, right? But here in the problem, the total height of the cone is given. Sorry, the total height of the top is given. Here we have to find the height of this cone part, right? So how to find this height? You see from the entire height, when you subtract this length, automatically we will be ending up with the height of this cone part, right? So how to find this length? You see this line, this is nothing but this is the radius of the hemisphere. Why we are saying it as radius? Because this line connects this center, right? You see this is a hemisphere, right? Anyway here we will be having the other half. So any line that connects the center to the circumference, to a point on the circumference is radius. So here obviously this is your radius, right? So what is the value of radius? It is 3.5 by 2. So when you subtract 3.5 by 2 from this 5 centimeter, automatically we will be ending up with the height of this cone, right? So therefore just substitute the values here, right? So here you see it is 5, height of the top is 5, and what is the height of the hemispherical part? It is 3.5 by 2. So here when you just do the multiplication, it will be 10 minus 3.5 by 2. So it is 6.5. So this 6.5 when divided by 2 gives 3.25 centimeter, right? So this is your height of the cone. So how to find the slant height of the cone? You see for this conical part, this length is known as the slant height, L. Right. So here this L is nothing but this is the square root of this is your R, right? R square plus H square. Because again you see they are perpendicular. So here it is exactly 90 degree, right? And by Pythagoras theorem again you see this L square is equal to R square plus H square, right? So L is nothing but square root of R square plus H square. So what is the value of r? You see this length is 3.5, right? It is given in the problem. So r will be 3.5 divided by 2. So 3.5 by 2 gives 1.75 square plus the value of h we have just now calculated, it is 3.25. So just substitute the values and here finally we are ending up with the answer as 3.69. So I am rounding it off as 3.7 centimeter to make our calculation simpler, right? That's it. So cross-sectional area of the cone is, it is pi r L. So we know pi, we know r, L just now we have calculated. So just substitute it over here. So finally, now we have to add these two areas. So the area Rashid has to color is nothing but this is the cross-sectional area of hemisphere plus cross-sectional area of the cone. So cross-sectional area of hemisphere, the formula is 2 pi r square, right? Previously we have calculated and substituted the values also. So just write down the values, and cross-sectional area of the cone, this is this value. So just write it. So when you compare these two expressions, you see I am having 22 by 7, here also 22 by 7. Similarly 3.5 by 2 here, and here also 3.5 by 2. So now when I take these two terms commonly outside, that is 22 by 7 into 3.5 by 2. So the remaining terms are, so in this first expression the remaining parts are 2 into 3.5 by 2 plus here it is 3.7. So this 2 and 2 cancels each other, and here finally we will be having 22 by 7 into 3.5 by 2 into 3.5 plus 3.7 gives you 7.2. Right. So here it is. Again when you multiply and simplify, 11 into 3.6, that is these two gives 3.6, and finally here we end up with the answer as 39.6 centimeter square. Right. So always remember to write the units then and there. And now let me show you how to take the square root for this number. Right. So here we have to take the square root, right? So let me show you how to take the square root here. So you see, let me show here. It is 13.625, right? So 13.625. So to start with, we have to start with the basic square numbers, right? That is how to start here. 2 2s are 4, right? So 2 2s are 4, 3 3s are 9, and 4 4s are 16, right? So what is the number we have? Here we have 13. So but here we are having only 16. So move to the previous thing. 3 3s are 9 here. So just write 3 3s are 9, right? So 13 minus 9, that gives you 4, right? So just bring this 6 and 2 together, right? That is the rule of taking square root. So here what happens? Then in the previous part I am having 3, right? So 3 into 2 becomes 6. So write the 6 here. You see next to 13 I am having a dot. Since I have considered this whole number as a first step, so you have to place the dot over here. Right. So in the next step I had moved this 6 and 2 down. So now here it is 6. So here I have to add one number, that is just like this. You see I can add 63 into 3 or 64 into 4. That is these two numbers should be similar. Right. So in this case, I am having 6, right? That is when I add 6, it is okay for me. So 66 into 6. So what is the value? 66 into 6 is 6 6 are 36, 6 remainder 3, and again 6 6 are 36, 36 plus 3 becomes 39 here. So here I am having 396, right? So again when you subtract here, what happens? So this becomes 12 and this becomes 5. So 12 minus 6 is 6. And again this becomes 3 and here it becomes 15. So 15 minus 9 gives 6. Right. So now the next step is, again you see here we are having 36. Right. You remove the dot. So 36 into 2, it is nothing but it gives 72. Right. So here just write 72. You see here the number is 66. This is comparatively, that is this is a smaller number when compared to 72, right? And here we are having only 5, right? So just bring this 5 down. Since we don't have any numbers at the back, you just add 0, right? So now bring this 0 also down. So now the number is 6650, right? Again, in the same way, here we are having 72, right? So just multiply with the same number. It may be 7 to 8 into 8 or 6 into 6 or 5 into 5. It depends upon the value what we need here. So here I am going with 9, right? So 7 to 9 into 9. So that gives the answer as 6561, right? So again, when you simplify, here it becomes 10 and here it becomes 4. So 10 minus 1 is 9. So here it again becomes 5, it becomes 14. So here 14 minus 6, that gives 8. So here the balance comes 89. If you want to proceed, again you have to add 2 more zeros and again bring it down and again you have to multiply and it goes on, right? So this is the method to take square root. So here we are ending up with the answer as 3.69, right? So this is what I had written here, right? So that's all. If you have any doubt, let me know in the comment section. Thank you.